Good afternoon, everybody. We'll commence the show in 5 minutes.
Someone's following us.
Hey! Why are you following us?
Just chasing the dream.
The dream.
What about your dream?
My dream.
My dream.
Turn left!
Move to Europe.
What, now?
Why not?
It's fine.
Wait, should we start that podcast? Definitely.
We just need stability.
We always hated being tied down.
This is not me.
I hate those kids.
I'm alive! I'm alive!
Out of my way, grasshoppers! I'm side hustling!
I'm done with that! I'm an ice cream man!
Dream! Follow that dream.
Which one?
That looks good.
We gave it a good shot. 50-50?
It's fine.
You have reached your potential. You have reached your potential.
Festivals!
Good afternoon, everybody. How are we feeling? Hey, that's a good energy. Can I hear one more? Much better. It's a very young crowd, only 50s, 60s I'm seeing. It's very quite young, so it's good. I like it. Everyone's dressed very nice to the nines. Beautiful. How am I looking? I appreciate it. Oh, aunties and uncles, that's a good compliment. Okay. All right, let's get the show on the road today. Okay, we're here for Saptaswara. I'd like to start today off with acknowledgement of country, maybe a little bit deeper than the usual ones that you hear. So today we gather on the lands of the Bijigal people, a clan of the Darug nation. These people have been here for tens and thousands of years. Okay, their culture, their language, who they are is woven into the earth, into the ground, the rivers of this land that we call Castle Hill. It is who they are, it is their sacred place, and we acknowledge that. We acknowledge the struggles they have faced, the hardships, and the people and the culture and the knowledge that they continue to endure and show resilience through. Their people and their descendants are a great example of that carried forward. For us, many of us here, just looking around, from South Asian backgrounds, can relate to this. Through hardships, our ancestral grounds, through colonialism or war, have faced the struggles of preserving our culture, our heritage, who we are, passing it on to our next generation. So, with a heartfelt and with some solidarity, we'd like to recognize the living history and the shared spirit of the Darug people and the Bijigal people of this land, and I pay my deepest respects to the elders here, past, present, and emerging. And I'd also like to extend that love and respect to any other Torres Strait Islanders here with us today. Okay, let's get the show started. Let's do it. Let's start off with a musical piece by Lakshmi Fine Arts. This is a great one.
tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, 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 intatei tatagadimitum, tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, 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 intatei tatagadimitum, tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, gamapani pasani pappamamaga, gamapama gamaga sagasa, gamapani pasani pappamamaga, gamapama gamaga sagasa, sansaga sansama sansapapamamamagaga, tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, 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 intatei tatagadimitum, tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum. Ni pama pama gama papa pa, ni pama pama gama papa pa, gasa sasa ni papa pa, gasa sasa ni papa pa, gama gasa sasa ni pama gama papa pa, pama gama papa pa, ma papa pa, pa pa pa, pama gasa sasa ni pa, ni sagama ma pa, pama gasa sasa ni pa, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, 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 intatei tatagadimitum, tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum. Ni sagasa ni pamagasa, sagama pani sagasa ni pamaga, sagama pani sagasa ni pamagasa, sagama pani sagasa ni pamaga, ni pani pa ni pamaga, pama pama saga, ni pani pa pama pama saga, gasa gasa maga maga pama pama ni pani sagasa ni pamaga ni pamaga. Intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, 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 intatei tatagadimitum, 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 intatei tatagadimitum. Om tang, om tang, om tang, dinatum, 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 tang, tang, tadinginatum, 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 tadingum, 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 tadinginatum, 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 tadingum, 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 tadinginatum, 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 intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, intatei tatagadimitum, 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 intatei tatagadimitum, 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 intatei tatagadimitum, nadimina 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 nadimina
Thank you, Lakshmi Fine Arts. I'd just like to thank all the performers individually, starting with the vocalists, Abhi Saini Padmasri, Abhineha Kuhasri, Madhu Pahiradan, Ramanan Pahiradan, Shivanjali Ratnaseelan, Sri Niranjan Yanaratnam, Swatika Vigneshwaran, Tuani Ratnaseelan. And on the flute, Jadushan Jayarasa, and on Miridangam, Peravinan Jayarasa, and their guru, Srimadi Kediswari Pahiradan. All right. Excellent. That was a great piece. Can I get another round of applause for that? All right. Okay, so this is just the warm-up act. So what you guys are doing right now, the claps, the energy, I need you guys to keep that going because these guys are going to perform for you, show, model, and they just need that. They're going to vibe off that energy, okay? So the more energy you give, the more energy they'll put out on stage, okay? All right, excellent. Excellent. So next, I'd like to invite onto the stage some of the directors and team members of the two charities that will be the benefactors of tonight's show. First is Vanni Hope, and the other is Paalam, Bridge to Humanity. So I'd like to invite the directors and the team members onto the stage to have a discussion and just essentially talk about who they are, what they do, and just explore some of the outcomes that they've been able to benefit from past shows. So, Prabhanku, I'd like to invite you on stage.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks again for joining us tonight at this Saptaswara event. As you know, this is the second of the events organized by Tari by Gayatri. The last year we had Navarasa, which was another sellout show like tonight. So once again, yeah, great to see a good full crowd, full house here tonight. So I just thought on behalf of Vanni Hope, thank everyone here, and also to highlight the benefit from the last year's show, what we're doing with it. So the funds raised from last year's Navarasa program went into quite a few projects in Sri Lanka. One of the main ones is that women empowerment project. So we formed a community up in northern part of Sri Lanka in Point Petro area, where we had 50 women empowerment. So these are women who are sort of headed, single women who are heading up a family on their own. So by the funds, we created like a community pool where the fund is given to a community of 50 women to start either a business or to establish a business or to expand on their current business. So some of the businesses that the women are involved in are like, everything from sewing and selling clothing to raising cows for milk and also a chicken farm. So each of the women get like a loan of 50,000 rupees or about 300 Australian dollars to start off with. And when they pay the loan off in 12 months, then they can borrow more. And the money is that it's like a revolving loan, so the money gets reused as they pay back to the other women. And so far, we've benefited about this Navarasa program.
Is simple yet profound. To uplift lives, foster resilience, and create lasting change in communities that need it most. From bustling towns to the most remote villages, our work spans the entire island, bringing hope and opportunity to those who need it most. At Vanni Hope, we believe in the power of community and the impact that compassionate, thoughtful action can have on individual lives, whether it's through improving access to education, providing essential healthcare, or supporting livelihoods. Our initiatives address the unique challenges faced by communities. We are dedicated to creating environments where people can thrive, where children can learn and grow, and where families can build a brighter future. Our work is not just about addressing immediate needs. It's also about laying the groundwork for for sustainable development and long-term success. By investing in people, nurturing local talent, and fostering self-reliance, we are helping communities to stand on their own and create prosperous futures for themselves. The stories of those we have supported, like students attaining entry into their dream professions, women starting their own businesses, and communities coming together to support one another, are a true testament to the impact we are making. Now, none of this would be possible without the incredible support of our donors and the partnerships we've built along the way. Together, we are transforming lives and paving the way for a future full of promise and potential. At Vanni Hope, we are driven by the belief that every person deserves the chance to succeed. As we continue to grow, we invite you to be part of our journey, to stand with us as we work towards a future where every Sri Lankan can turn their dreams into reality.
பெற்று இந்த கடையை திறம்பட நடத்தி கொண்டு வரும். இதற்கு நிதியுதவி வழங்கிய நவரச திட்டத்திற்கு நிதியுதவி வழங்கிய வன்னி ஹோப் நிறுவனத்துக்கு நவரச நிகழ்ச்சி திட்டத்திற்கும் குடும்ப சார்பாகவும் எனது மாநில சங்கம் நிறுவனம் நன்றிகளை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். பெயர் திருமதி ஆனந்தராசா ரஜீனா. நான் புல்வண்டு கிராம சிறுவ பிரிவில் வசித்து வருகிறேன். எனது கணவனின் யுத்தத்தால் பாதிக்கப்பட்ட நிலையில் நட்சத்திரமான சங்க அபிவிருத்தி சங்கத்தால் எனது சுயதொழில் வளர்ப்புக்காக மூச்சு கடனை வழங்கப்பட்டு நான் தற்போது கால்நடை வளர்ப்பு சுயதொழிலில் செய்து வருகிறேன். எனவே இதற்கு நிதி உதவி வழங்கிய நவரச நிகழ்ச்சி திட்டத்திற்கு மற்றும் வன்னி ஹோப் நிறுவனத்துக்கும் எனது குடும்பத்தின் சார்பாக நன்றிகளை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன்.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Valavan Thilaraja. I'm one of the volunteer team members and director of Vanni Hope. Now, the video you just saw gave a bit of a glimpse into the work that Vanni Hope does, the first video, and a little glimpse into what we do, but behind every clip, there's a bit of a story behind it. Now, contrary to what our name suggests, Vanni Hope doesn't only work in the Vanni region. We're very proud to say that we work across the entire island, all 9 provinces in all 25 districts. Now, our work is governed by 6 key pillars: community development, education support, emergency response, health enhancement, sustainable livelihood, and women's empowerment. Now, I'd love to go into detail about all 6 of them, but I've only been given a few minutes to talk tonight. But if you'd like to learn more, please have a look at our website or come talk to one of us outside, and we'd be happy to talk to you. However, what I do want to talk to you tonight about is 3 of the major projects that we're doing at the moment. Now, the first one, obviously, is the end-of-life care ward at Telepalai Base Hospital in the Northern Province that we're doing in partnership with Paalam, the Bridge to Humanity. Now, with 3 in 4 Sri Lankans dying from chronic illness, and with over 1 million Sri Lankans based in the Northern Province, this will be the first end-of-life care ward in that region, and will provide necessary support for all of them in much need, and what will be one of the biggest projects in the region. But Dr. Pranavan from Paalam will talk a bit more about that in detail. The second one I want to bring up to you tonight is the wide-scale medical equipment project, we'll call it. Now, this is a project that we've been doing for many years, but now we've got a recent partnership with Project Cure from the USA. And they provided $500,000 worth of medical equipment, which Vanni Hope has now taken on the responsibility of transporting from the US and distributing to rural hospitals that we work with. Now, if you haven't caught on already, we are big fans of partnerships. And it's for a very simple reason. And when I first joined Vanni Hope, Mr. Ranjan, our founding chairman, he explained it to me like this. He was like, Vallavan, let's say that we have 5,000 Australian dollars. That's about enough money to build 20 of these water tube wells that we build in communities, right? And we can call it there, we can do the project, and the banner can say, 20 tube wells brought to you by Vanni Hope. Or we can tap one of our partners on the shoulders, like World Vision Lanka, for example, and say, hey, can you join us on this project? They say yes, and then the banner instead says 40 tube wells brought to you by Vanni Hope. So we're really big fans of partnerships and impacting the amount of work that we can. And now the third project that I want to bring to your attention today is the mega disability home that we're building in Sandipalai. And this project actually is the vision of 2 of our donors, Mrs. Dharmini and Mr. Ramesh Vahiswaran. And this, I reckon, highlights one of the differences about our organisation. So this mega disability home is going to provide necessary support and services for those suffering from severe disability and those who need ongoing and high level of care, like those suffering from cerebral palsy in the region. And like I said, this is one of the key differences of our organisation, the way we work. You see, our slogan is, you can see it, be the reason someone smiles today. And what that means is you can be the reason someone smiles today. You see, the way the model of our operations at Vanni Hope is that we empower those in Sri Lanka, right? That's the whole point of charity in Sri Lanka. But then we also empower you, the donor, or enable you, the donor, to make that difference for yourself. And we're the implementing organisation. And we can do that because we have a fantastic team across the sponsorship from us. Right? Our student sponsorship has sponsored almost 1,000 people, 1,000 students from primary, secondary and university since 2016 when we were accredited. And now there are 2 field officers for our organisation. And this works on twofold. Right? They're bringing their experience and their enthusiasm to our operations to help us help our donors and help our beneficiaries. But then we're also providing them with a stable income and support to support their families and friends. And so it's a 2-way street for us. And it's fantastic to see how they've gone through the program and now become full field officers. Now, finally, before I let you go, I want to thank everyone here tonight for coming. But I want to pay a special thank you to the models, the singers, the musicians, and everyone behind the scenes, the sari drapers, the makeup artists on behalf of the organisation. You know, these are mothers, these are workers, these are everyone who have taken time out of their day to come support us, and we are very appreciative. So thank you to them. I'd also obviously like to thank Tari by Gayatri. You know, this is the 2nd year she's doing this program for us, and from the background says, there's a lot of things that go behind it. A lot of coordinating, a lot of talking to people, a lot of making sure everyone's on time. So we really do appreciate the time and effort that she's put in her organisation. And I also want to thank the sponsors today, CommBank and all the other big, small and individual people who have sponsored us. Because it is because of them, ladies and gentlemen, that I can stand up here and tell you that all of the money that you've given us through your tickets and any of the donations that you make today, because they've covered the costs of like the venue hire and everything, will go directly towards the projects, towards the end-of-life care and Vanni Hope's ongoing projects. So thank you. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. Thank you for taking the time to come tonight. Thank you for buying a ticket. Thank you for supporting us, whether it's tonight or even outside of tonight. It's all very much appreciative, and we're very grateful to all of you. So finally, ladies and gentlemen, please do enjoy the show, and thank you for being the reason someone in Sri Lanka smiles today. Thank you.
When you look at a bridge, what comes to mind? Strength, connection, possibility. In our culture, it symbolizes transition. Seeing the gaps in palliative care across South Asia and amongst migrant communities in Australia, Paalam, the Bridge to Humanity, was founded. Paalam, meaning bridge in Tamil, is dedicated to providing compassionate, culturally sensitive, end-of-life care for all, regardless of socioeconomic status, background, or beliefs. Without holistic palliative care, patients endure severe pain and loss of dignity. Families carry unbearable emotional and financial burdens, and health systems overstretch, mismanaging scarce resources. Then, inequalities widen, systems break, and a basic human right is denied. With your support, we're so proud of the foundations we've laid in our first year. Our small team of healthcare professionals and volunteers have developed tiered programs for lasting change. At a base level, we provide psychological care. Partnering with Vanni Hope, we run workshops on mental well-being, reproductive health, and domestic and sexual violence. This covers essential needs, including hygiene kits and baby clothes drives for struggling new mothers. Next, education. In Sri Lanka, we train nurses and doctors and upgrade their facilities, like the renovation of Bataclan Teaching Hospital's neonatal ward. In Australia, we raise awareness among culturally diverse groups, develop resources, and link support networks. Finally, infrastructure. In February 2025, in collaboration with Vanni Hope, we began constructing a palliative care ward at Jaffna Cancer Hospital. This ward will provide patients with specialised support, easing family burdens and strengthening the health system. Although we've raised seed funding to start this project, continued fundraising is vital to complete this vision of holistic, sustainable and humane care. As we celebrate our small wins, understanding the power of our work comes from the stories of those we've impacted.
Patients at their final days, they need something, supportive care, a place where they have some privacy, where they can show their emotions. A place like that is very important for a patient, because I know my daughter, she was 34 when she passed away. She needed people to talk to her. Maybe she can't be herself in a common. I think we need a place like this.
அங்கே பலதரப்பட்ட நிலையிலுள்ள நோயாளிகள் தங்கியிருந்து ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் எடுக்கணும். நான் அங்கே இருந்த போதுதான் தனிப்பட்ட ரூம்ஸ் இந்த தேவையை உணர்ந்தேன். நான் வீட்டில் சில நோயாளிகளுக்கு உணவு உண்ண முடியாது, நீராகாரம் அருந்த முடியாது, அவையில் நிலையை பார்த்து மற்றவர்களாலும் சுமமாக உண்ண முடியாது. இறுக்கமான சூழ்நிலையில இருந்ததில்லை. நான் இருக்கேக்கே எனக்கு வீட்டுக்கு பக்கத்து பெட்டுகளை 2 பேர் மரணித்தவைகள். அந்த நேரம் அனைவரின் முகங்கள்லயும் ஒரு மரண பயம் தெரியும். அப்ப நினைச்சனா தனிப்பட்ட ரூம் இருந்தா ஒரு திறந்த உடைய மாட்டினா, பிறகு தனி ரூம் இருந்தா ஒரு ஹஸ்பண்ட் ஒய்ஃப் இருக்கலாம், அது ஒரு மோரல் சப்போர்ட்டா இருக்கும். தனி ரூம் என்றால் இன்ஃபெக்ஷனை தவிர்க்கலாம். பின்னேரம் ஹஸ்பண்டை நான் மகளை கொண்டே அட்மிட் பண்ணிட்டு நாங்க வவுனியாக திரும்பினாங்க. அடுத்த நாள் பின்னேரம் 3:30 போல ஒரு பாஸ்டர் தனியா ரூம் இருந்திருந்தா நாங்க அன்னைக்கு நைட் வவுனியாக்கு வந்திருக்க வேண்டிய அவசியம் இல்லை, அவரோட அங்க கூட இருந்திருக்கலாம்.
Looking ahead, this September, we'll be conducting more palliative care workshops in Bataclan and Jaffna for medical and allied health staff. In October, we're hosting GP training in Australia, focused on the unique challenges of caring for patients from non-English backgrounds. And we continue extending our programs into regional India, strengthening capacity and compassion across borders. So, how can you help? Every kind act counts. Donations, attending our fundraising events, sharing our message, or volunteering your time. If direct giving isn't possible, you can still support through initiatives like September, City to Serve, or Movember, raising vital funds for Paalam. Together, we can build bridges of compassion, turning pain into dignity and isolation into community. For those on the hardest journey, a bridge can mean the difference.
Generosity to help us build this palliative care ward at Jaffna Telipala Cancer Hospital in Sri Lanka. I really thank you, each of you, including the Saptaswara artist, and the special thanks to Vanni Hope and Gayatri. As you would know, with the current advances in medicine, we can do many things. We can cure diseases which were deemed incurable years ago. We can create life. We can even stop a birth. But something you cannot stop is death. If you are bound, everyone here is bound to die one day. But if all of you think we can change or modify the way someone dies, that's in our hands. We can make someone die pain-free. We can make that happen as a peaceful process with comfort and with the dear ones around you. We can make someone exit with dignity. That's in our hands. It's in your hands. So we need your help to do this. And this is what Paalam does. So Paalam is an Australian-based charity. Unlike Vanni Hope, we are a baby organization. We only started last year in Canberra. We mainly look at bridging the gaps among multicultural people or in Australia or other ethnicities in Australia, and also in Sri Lanka, regional India, and any other regional or developing world. We don't want to duplicate things, but we want to bridge the gaps. That's what we do. The one thing we are doing as a principal project now is building this end-of-life care at Jaffna Telipala Cancer Hospital. Unlike our society here, where we are so lucky, we have, if one of us get unwell, we got people to help us, we got physical help, psychological help, even got financial help, which none of them happen in Sri Lanka or regional India. If you look at the hospitals in Sri Lanka or India, it's a common bed, it's like a dormitory with beds stuck to each other. There's good medicine, but there's not enough space, and if you visit a typical hospital in Sri Lanka, you can even see people dying, one on one side, another patient on the same bed with the head on the other one's tail end. So that's a common sight. I've even seen last month. The patients, even with incurable disease, they don't have a single room, and there is no resources to support them exiting or battling the long-term illnesses with comfort. Thanks to Vanni Hope, and Paalam with Vanni Hope is a collaboration. We have started building this end-of-life care ward at the hospital. The project would be a 3-story building. The initial phase is a ground floor which has got it's only a small one, but it's got two rooms with attached bathrooms and a common area. So patients' relatives can stay with them for the last few weeks of their death. The plan would be to build the next 2 floors, which will be a common ward for palliative care. The whole project estimates about $500,000 or $500,000. The initial phase is about $200,000. We have started the building in February. It should finish by end of this year, early next year. Just imagine if one of ours in Sri Lanka or anywhere in the world where we don't have any services, and having a death like how you have heard in the video, or someone dying with you staying somewhere else, and the patient dying in the same ward, and there's someone lying next to you and quite horrified that she's going to die next day. So the importance is to build a hospital with single rooms is very, very important. A concrete brick in Sri Lanka would cost about less than $1. So just for a cost of a cup of coffee, you can support 5 bricks. It's not a great thing. So you don't need huge amount. Every single dollar would help us. Every single support would really help us. I sincerely hope you would be able to help us to achieve this goal. We target the first floor early this year. Hopefully with all your support, we can build more. Walvan has done a pledge. There's on the QR code on the walls. There are 2 types of QR code. The QR code with the Vanni Hope and Paalam logo. If you scan it, there's a pledge there. If each of you do $10 today, we can easily target the 400 people here, easily target $4,000. Every dollar would help us. I really hope you would help us. Hopefully we can achieve this. If this happens, we can also expand this to other areas in Sri Lanka and regional India. I sincerely thank everyone for your support. I also want to take the opportunity to do another appeal. One of our young dads, Nim in Sydney, most of you would know, has got leukemia. He's on chemotherapy. He's looking for a donor. So you need a stem cell transplant to cure someone with leukemia. The stem cell registry rates among immigrants especially is extremely low in Australia, leave alone Australia, nationwide. The stem cell registry rates among immigrants are extremely low. Swati is another Sydney non-charity organization, is doing a stem cell drive tomorrow in Civic. The details are, there's a booth for Swati, the details are there. I would strongly urge every one of you to meet them and try to go tomorrow and register yourself. The caveat is only young ones can register, so you need to be between 18 and 35 years old to register it. So you can do a swab and go into a database. However, you can be any age before you donate the stem cells. So you can register today, go into a database. It might be 20 years down the track, someone across the globe, could be in America, could be somewhere, you could get the stem cells who could cure him. So that will give the gratification that there is someone, you can help them. I would strongly appeal if the young ones could at least register tomorrow, register with Swati and try to attend their stem cell drive tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Bye.
That's the case for about 90% of people.
So anyone can help? Any person can help with the stem cell?
Yeah, so anyone between the ages of 18 and 35 can join the register and donate their stem cells.
Yeah.
But the most likely match for someone like me is going to be someone who's ethnically related to me. So someone of kind of a Tamil background for me, and it's the same case for a lot of other people who have blood cancers.
All right. Thank you for listening to that. I think that is a very important message. And I'm sure you're feeling great because you guys are helping out and generally is a great thing. But, let's get on with the show and let's see what we're here for. Let's enjoy the night. Dipali, if I can ask you to join me up on stage, if you want to just carefully come up at the stairs at the front. So I'd just like to introduce our major sponsor for this evening, which is Commonwealth Bank. We are absolutely grateful for the support that you have provided us today. And Dipali, obviously in the lovely sari you'll see in a minute that she comes up, is leading the charge here and supporting. And they have a bit of an exciting thing they want to share with you, as well as they're going to share some initiatives to help other Aussies like us.
It's about weaving together compassion, culture, and humanity. Combank is proud to support this event because we believe in the power of people coming together to create lasting change. The theme of this event, Saptaswara, the 7 notes, is such a fitting reminder. It's just like music, where each note has its own beauty, but together they create harmony. Tonight brings together heritage, art, humanity, to create something greater than the sum of its parts. Through this event, we are shining a light on the incredible work of Paalam, the Bridge to Humanity, and Vanni Hope, 2 organizations that are bringing together education, health, hope, and hope to the families who need it the most. Their efforts also remind us that every act of giving builds a bridge to the brighter tomorrow. Looking around, I feel so inspired by the energy in this room. Your presence tonight is a proof that when the heart and the hands come together, we can achieve something far greater than ourselves. A big thank you to all the participants as well who have stepped into the stage. Each of you are, I know, beautifully presenting. And of course, a very special thank you and a recognition to Gayatri. Your vision has brought together heritage, humanity, and hope. And tonight we have created not just the show, but the experience that will stay with us all. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be a part of this wonderful evening. We also have organized a door prize for the lucky winner. So I will get Eva to pick the lucky winner for tonight and we'll present a nice hamper.
So it's yellow color ticket, number 9, D9.
Number 9, D9.
Just 9.
Yeah. It's yellow number 9. Have everybody checked their tickets? Yeah. That's better now. Everybody is looking in their bags. We love that. Come on, lucky winner. Any luck? Yay! Woo!
Wasn't it? Oh my God. You'd think at this age you'd be able to tell the difference between a 9 and a 6. Yeah, can we draw another one? That's just incompetence. You got to rule it out. Yeah, get your tickets out. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the next one. We got red, A10. A10, red A10. Yes! You know what I mean? All right, anyway, jokes aside. I think one of the things I wanted to do before we kick this off, which is the next thing, I promise you, is I wanted to share a little bit about Gayatri Auntie because she didn't want this to happen, but we all insisted it had to happen. And over the course of the time preparing for the show, I got to know her and got to see how much of a sweet, fun, witty, humid person she is. But behind that, there's a lot of depth to this show. And the reason why I want to tell you this is not just so we can recognize her and appreciate her as both an artist and a person, but also to allow you guys to see what she is seeing, her world, through the vision that she is putting on this stage. So think of this as the canvas, and you're about to watch a live painting. Okay? Wow, that was poetic. Anyway. All right. I just heard someone say that on the side. Okay, so let me take you through 4 things today about Gayatri Auntie. The start, the inspiration, the vision for today, and the team behind this, okay? The start of this, any artist, any person, really, we end up being lost at some points in our life. And she faced this at one point just after graduating school at year 12. She's like, what do I do? What do I study? Medicine, engineering, which one is it? It's not that one. So her mum, realizing that she has a passion and a talent in fine arts, she said, listen, come with me, enrolled her into fine arts, not finance, fine arts, in uni, and said, this is you. This is your passion. And with the blessings of her family, she embarked on this journey that has brought us amazing nights that we see tonight and previous. So, what's inspired her to get to this stage, and what are some things that you're going to see today that is going to be, I guess, embodied through her childhood? So she grew up in Madras, seeing saris, tasting amazing smells, just everyday life, temples, festivals of India and what it brought to her. And you're going to see that in hand-woven textiles through the stories accompanied with these textiles. And that passion still continues with her to this day. After her last collection, Navarasa, she sought more inspiration from her childhood of music lessons. That's where we got Saptaswara. As Dipali put it, there were 7 notes, and each of those notes today will be weaving in saris, music, dance, and culture for you tonight in an anthology of stories. The vision behind this is a collection that challenges self-doubt, to push yourself outside the comfort zone, to try new things. Maybe try out a new style, something in new colors. Maybe someone said, oh, that doesn't suit your complexion, that doesn't suit your size, something. But it's about stepping out of that comfort zone and pushing yourself. So, a little bit of, I guess, insight into the mind when I asked Auntie, who's this collection for? This collection is for someone who is grounded, someone who is confident, someone who is graceful. And I said, me? No, no, not really. The humble bit was missing. But it's also for someone who appreciates tradition, but can also make it their own. Then there's the saris. These saris are not just any saris. They're Kanjivaram saris. So for those of you who don't know, these saris take the ones who have brought her dream to life. So I'm going to hand this over, and you don't need to hear my jokes anymore. I know they've been so bad. But I'm going to hand this over to the lovely Ashwini, who will guide you through Saptaswara tonight. And please join me in welcoming this masterpiece, Saptaswara.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Vanakkam and welcome to Saptaswara, the dance of music and silk, a production by Tari by Gayatri in support of Vanni Hope and Paalam, the Bridge to Humanity. The word Saptaswara, Saptas meaning seven, and Swaras meaning musical notes, refers to the 7 distinct notes that form the basis of Carnatic music. Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, and finally we come back to Sa, beginning the progression once again. These notes form the essence of every melody, the footsteps which carry each tune to its destination. But beyond music, these 7 notes echo the journey of life itself. Each note tells a story. Sa, the foundational note. Re, symbolizing new beginnings. Ga, grounding us in balance and harmony. Ma, representing creativity. Pa, for finding contentment in the simplicity of life. Da, symbolic of resilience. And finally, Ni, for hope. Through saris, music, dance, and tradition, we invite you to walk with us through these 7 steps of life. We begin Saptaswara with the foundational note, Sa. Our journey in life begins with a heartbeat, and Sa is the heartbeat of our cultural melodies. It is rhythm, it is breath, it is life itself. Tonight, Sa comes alive through an exploration of the foundational aspects of our culture. Tamil letters woven into saris, accompanied by the fundamental adavas of Bharatanatyam, represent these foundational aspects of dance, music, language, and culture. Set to an original heartfelt composition by Janahan Sudhandiraraj, blending Vinayaka Jati with konnakol, percussion, and spoken word, this segment reminds us that the melody of life begins with that first heartbeat. Sa is where life takes its first step.
Tata tum takita takatemi takita tam. Tata tum takita takatemi takita tei. Tata tum takita takatemi takita tam. Tata tum takita takatemi takita tei. Tata tum takita takatemi takita tam. Tata tum takita takatemi takita tei. Tata tum takita takatemi takita tam. Tata tum takita takatemi takita tei. Tata tum takita takatemi takita tata. Tum takita takatemi takita tata. Tum tata nam tatikita 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 tata. Tata tum tata tum tata tum tati takita tum tati takita tum tati takita tum nam. Tata tum tata tum tata tum nam. एकदन्ताय गं गणपते विघ्नराजाय गं गणपते वक्रतुण्डाय गं गणपते बालचन्द्राय गं गणपते एकदन्ताय गं गणपते विघ्नराजाय गं गणपते वक्रतुण्डाय गं गणपते बालचन्द्राय गं गणपते एकदन्ताय गं गणपते विघ्नराजाय गं गणपते वक्रतुण्डाय गं गणपते बालचन्द्राय गं गणपते एकदन्ताय गं गणपते विघ्नराजाय गं गणपते वक्रतुण्डाय गं गणपते बालचन्द्राय गं गणपते गण गण तकिट तिमि तिमि तकिट गणनायक गणनायक गणपति तिमि तिमि तकिट तिमि तकिट तकिट नवग्रह नायक गं गं गणपति तुम त तिमि तिमि तक दीं ध जनु जनु तकिट तुम त तिमि तिमि तक दीं ध जनु.
Sa, the foundation of culture, choreographed by Aruthi Kumanan, modeled by Abhirami Kandasamy, Amanda Shalom, Abhinayani Kuhasri, Mariam Kadari, Narmada Dalilo, and Nishita Adithan. Composed and mixed by Janahan Sudandira Raj. After that first heartbeat comes movement, a gentle step forward. Our next segment, Re, marks new beginnings, the moment where we embark on an adventure. It is the first step forward, a step of growth, of rituals, of love, of promise. The journey of a bride stepping through the various stages of marriage rituals reflects this moment where we turn the page to start a new chapter. The saris in Re echo these wedding traditions, starting with the moment a bride chooses her wedding sari, followed by rituals such as the haldi ceremony and the mehendi party. The piece culminates with the bride reflecting on her childhood, packing away her memories in preparation for this new chapter. And finally, the moment when a bride sees her bridesmaids before walking down the aisle. Re is about looking ahead with courage and embracing the joy of what lies before us. Re, New Beginnings, choreographed by Kamshika Umasutan, modeled by Tresha Dayanandan, Saumya Amalan, Lakshmi Pradeepan, Kirishana Jnanaraja, and Ashwini Sitanandan, with Agalya Pavalan on violin, Divya Sarvesuran on flute, and Abhinesh David on keyboard, accompanied by Janahan Sudhandiraraj and Senduran Devaraja. The grounding note of Ga narrates balance and unity. Life is nurtured by the world around us, by the passing of the seasons and the flurry of nature itself. The 5 elements, as identified in Hindu philosophy, earth, fire, water, air, and space, bring this balance to our planet and our lives. These elements weave together harmoniously to provide us the steady ground we walk upon, the warmth of fire, the flow of rivers, the whispers of the wind as a fan brushes the air, and the vastness of the sky we look endlessly into. Through vibrant kalamkari and graceful movement, we honor the elements that sustain our being and the balance they bring to our lives every day through Ga.
Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. something dystopian and people love it. You'll see the Pope on the beach and the tucking play the trumpet. Somehow, somewhere we made it out the filth and garbage. Where people feel for nonsense, worthless, and we need to be born again from the problems of harlequins and the charlatans. Trying to stick their guns in them, but they can kill them confidence. This ain't religious, but yo, I see the crescent. See the illuminated close to the sky in the distance. Or maybe it's just the clouds, I be shaping my vision, telling me never play down my true existence. Forget what you know, just take a leap. No matter how high up you are, or how deep, or what height it is, be the mightiest. We've been in a tight spot, fight to live.
There were times my soul felt broken, and there were times my faith was shaken. Some way, somehow, we made it. Loved ones all around. Say it's just the beginning. They say it's just the beginning. They say it's just the beginning.
Ga, the elements of nature, choreographed by Anita Vaidiswaran, modeled by Divya Nataraja, Abhisayani Padmasiri, Janani Biru, Birutevi Babu, Dakshana Nataraja, and Soumya Antonito, with Divya Sarveswaran on flute, music mixed by Senduran Thavaraja. Just as each dot forms part of a larger picture, each moment of creativity shapes the tapestry of our lives. Life is not just survival, it is creation, and that is what Ma seeks to show us.
कर्तव्यं दैवमात्मिकम् उत्तिष्ठोत्तिष्ठ गोविन्द उत्तिष्ठ गरुडध्वज उत्तिष्ठ कमलाकान्त त्रैलोक्यम् उत्तिष्ठ कमलाकान्त त्रैलोक्यम् मङ्गलमङ्गलं कुरु मातः समे अत्र्यादिसप्तऋषयः समुपास्य सन्ध्या आकाशसिन्धुकमलानि मनोहराणि आदाय पादयुगमर्चयितुं प्रपन्नाः शेषाद्रिशेखर विभो तव सुप्रभातम् पञ्चाननाभ्यभव षण्मुखवासवाद्याः त्रैविक्रमादिचरितं विबुधास्तु वन्दी भाषापतिः पठति वासरशुद्धिमारा शेषाद्रिशेखर विभो तव सुप्रभातम् ईषत्प्रफुल्ल सरसीरुहनारिकेलफूगद्रुमादिसुमनोहर पालिकानाम् आवादिमन्दमनिलः सह दिव्यगन्धैः शेषाद्रिशेखर विभो तव सुप्रभातम्
Ma, creativity in everyday life. Choreographed by Ragini Sood and Isha Chitali. Modeled by Prashi Prakasan, Gayatri Sridharan, Kavita Catherine, Nita Manohar, Divi Niroshan, Elsie Brahmason, Uttara Ragavasimhan, and Kirtika Srinivasan. Music mixed by Janahan Sudhandiraraj. What is life without the simple joys we find in our everyday? Our next note, Pa, celebrates the contentment and happiness found in daily moments. Whether that be the warmth of the tea we have in the morning to mark the start of a new day, or the heavenly scent of jasmine flowers clipped in your hair, there is vibrance and joy in every moment. This segment transports us to the vividness of Madras street life, walking us through the bustle of markets, the laughter of festivals, the glow of lamps, and the rhythm of dance. Pa brings us to a place of celebration. It reminds us that life's greatest treasures are often in the smallest, simplest of moments.
நாளை வெறும் கனவு
Pa, Contentment in the Simple Joys of Life. Choreographed by Aruti Kumanan, modeled by Sintuja Jayakumar, Niru Krishnakumar, Nishita Aditan, Nivedita Manoharan, Kokila V. Kumar, Rima Teruli Joy, Sintuja Vasiharan, Indu Sundar, and music mixing and Pare Melam by Senduran Devaraja, accompanied by Janahan Sutandiraraj, Divya Sarveswaran, and Agalya Pavalan. Da embodies the spirit of endurance. Through saris with dark tones, stripes representing pillars of strength, and through dance that rises from grounded strength to soaring triumph, this segment narrates the intensity of a phoenix's song. It is a reminder that no matter how deep our personal struggles are, we can be reborn stronger together.
Shri Lanka Puna Vihara
Da, Strength, Resilience and Rebirth. Choreographed by Ragini Sood and Isha Chitali. Modeled by Jessica Vijay, Rukmani Swaroop, Neeta George, Renuka Inpakumar, Kritika Srinivasan, Abjit Nair, Sahas Pagadala and Tushar Chowdhury. Music mixed by Janahan Sudandira Raj. We have reached the final note in this musical journey, Ni. This concluding note is the light at the end of the tunnel. It is the horizon upon which we see our dreams and our futures. Ni is hope. It carries us forward through endings and beginnings, through joys and trials. To show this spirit of hope, we are proud to welcome cancer survivors to the stage at the end of this segment. Every step they take is more than just a walk. It tells a story of courage and of challenges faced, and the power that lies in hope. Tonight, Ni is expressed in soft hues and graceful movement, reminding us that no matter where we are in life's journey, there is always light ahead.
Kori so husky. Wish that I could be back in my homeland, singing show me the road and I'll be right there. I'll do anything to feel the wind in my hair. I would go and now I need again. I sing
David, Abhisani Padmasiri, Abhinayani Kuhashri, Suraj Ravikumar, and Piravenan Jayarasa. These 7 notes, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, and Ni, together form Saptaswara. Just as these various notes create a cacophony of sounds and music, life too becomes a symphony when these notes come together. May this journey through the 7 swaras remind us of the heartbeat of life, the beauty of beginnings, the gift of nature, the power of creativity, the joy of simple moments, the strength of resilience, and lastly, the light of hope. Saptaswara is a celebration of life, art, music, and dance, all through the timeless grace of a sari. We hope you will carry these notes with you along your journey. Thank you.
Just want to say, when you guys see the performers outside today, don't be shy to compliment, don't be shy to approach them. They would love to receive some feedback. And if you've got any negative feedback about the MC, just keep it to yourself. I appreciate that one. Thank you for that. That was a good joke. Okay. All right. So what an incredible show that was. If I can get Gayatri Auntie up on stage, we'd just like to literally give her flowers. So Sudha Mami and Renu Auntie are going to present her with a token of appreciation. Amazing. All right, let's bring this show to a close. All right, let's have the finale. Let's bring everybody on stage. You see them one last time, give them a big cheer, send them off. But amazing, and also make sure to give them compliments. I'm not joking, please. It does mean a lot to performers. So do reach out and tell them what they did. Be specific. Don't just say, yeah, look good. Be like, oh, I love that piece. I love when you did this, the expressions. So make sure it's specific. All right, let's get this going. Do we cue music for finalists or finale? Yeah, let's do it. Can I please get the makeup artist on stage? Makeup artist. Sari stylists and drapers. Stylists. And now we'll get the segment from Knee. Performance from Knee. Performance from Da. Performance from Pa. Could I please get performers from Ma? Ma and Ga? And let's have the performers from Re. And our final set of performance from Sa. And now, could I please have the choreographers of these pieces up on stage? The musicians up on stage. And finally, could I please get Gayatri Auntie and her team front and center? Let's hear it. Front and center. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to pass it over to the lovely voice that's been narrating you all night, Ashwini, for the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be here today on behalf of Tari by Gayatri, Vanni Hope, and Paalam, the Bridge to Humanity, to thank and acknowledge everyone who has worked together to bring Saptaswara to life. What began with the 7 notes of Carnatic music has evolved into such an extravagant production that has taken no less than a village to execute. And I ask for your patience as I take this opportunity to thank all choreographers, Janani, Ragini, Isha, Aruthi, Kamshi, and Anita. You have been able to bring the essence of the 7 swaras to life, transforming them into a visual experience that has moved us all. You have patiently and thoughtfully worked with every model, and your work has been the cornerstone for Saptaswara. The melodies for each segment has been the cornerstone for Saptaswara. The melodies for each segment mixed, composed, and performed by our talented musicians. Now to spotlight some of the people who have worked behind the scenes to bring this event to life. A heartfelt thank you to our talented sari drapists, hairstylists and makeup artists, Nilani from Get Ready with Nils, who has provided support beyond sari draping, helping us organize the logistics and schedules for this event, Varna by Punita, Artistry by Priya, Hair by Zen Aesthetics, Jana Hair and Makeup, Draping by B, Glam by V, Glitter Glitz, Sari Saga, Sari Draping by SR, Blush and Glow by V, and Priya RK369. Thank you for your patience and your artistry, ensuring each and every model looks and feels their most confident selves on stage. Thank you to all of the uncles and aunties who helped with decorating and setting up the hall this morning. Thank you to VIP Decorating for the stage decorations, to Abhi Master Production for looking after the sound, lighting and projector. Thank you Raghavan and Ravi for running the live stream tonight, and to our photographers, Nikith Narayanan, Sanjayan and Myth Captures for ensuring every moment is timelessly captured. To Janaka Walakularachi, Executive Chef from Hellenic Club of Canberra and Vimal Catering, thank you for the wonderful food provided before and after the event today. Thank you, Noor, for your ongoing support today and during rehearsals, and we are very grateful for everyone who has been here since the early hours of today, preparing the venue for such a special evening. To Ramesh, Pawanu, and all our weavers in India who have put in endless hours to perfectly embroider and create such elegant saris, this show could not have been successful without you. Last but not least, a special thank you to all of our sponsors, Commonwealth Bank, Hindsight Legal Advisors, Hobson Engineering, Sympathy Funerals, Next Gen Cargo, Malabar Gold and Diamonds, Midway Dental Clinic, Excellent Jewelers, Homebush Medical Practice, CR IT Solutions, Adroit Alarm System and Border Heart Specialists. Tonight has been a vibrant celebration of fashion, music, dance, and culture. It's moments like these that remind us of the magic that happens when we come together, and it has definitely shown us all just how much talent and creativity exists within our South Asian community. Thank you all for attending Saptaswara and supporting both Vanni Hope and Paalam in such an important project. We hope this evening has left you feeling fulfilled and inspired. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.
Everyone, please help yourself to dinner in the corridor. Please make your way around. Make sure to reach out to all the stores, chat to everyone around, and make sure you eat before you leave.
Nisa, 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 Nisa.